Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Allie, of course, back with another video. So what I need you to do is to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. So let's jump into the video. Today I am talking about HBCUs. Yes, historically black colleges and universities. Y'all, this video is coming from a deep place. I'm talking about HBCUs, specifically Grambling State University. If you can see my jacket. It says GSU Tigers and it has their logo G. Alright, so to backtrack a little bit, I actually attended University of Louisiana at Lafayette for undergrad, and then in my later years, when I was about 25, I went to Grambling State University for my master's. I received my Master of Science from Grambling in 2017. So at ULL, that's what we call it for short. Well, that's the initials ULL, but we really call it UL, like all the students call it UL. So UL was actually pretty fun. I enjoyed staying in the dorms. I stayed in the dorms for about 3 years. And my senior year, I moved to an on-campus apartment, and that was cool. So at UL, like I said, I enjoyed it, but I think I had a little bit of a tough time adjusting to UL. And also, me being a quiet and shy person, it took me a little while to really get adjusted. I was very homesick my first couple of years. Well, my first year, actually, it was like the smoothest because I went with a friend from high school, and things happened, and so life happened. And I think it was like more so my second year, I got really homesick. And college was just an adjustment for me. Um, like I said, if you look back in my previous videos, like 2, 3, 4 videos back in my feed, you'll see my video called Toxic People. And for some reason in college, I ran into a lot of people that was just kind of, not very much my friends and stuff like that. So I had a hard time adjusting to just that whole situation of having to deal with, just people just being disrespectful, rude, and taking you for granted, taking my kindness for weakness. So that was kind of like one of the downsides to college. Um, I was still kind of in my shell. I did study music at UL, and it was a lot of people that tried to tell me, what I couldn't do as a music student. And like I even had one, he was a TA at the time, and he told me that I would never be have any kind of authority as a music teacher, a musician, a conductor, a director. He said that out of his mouth. He said, "You are so shy and quiet. You don't understand this music theory and all this kind of stuff. And so you would never be able to command an ensemble." And, that's what he told me. And, I kind of looked up towards him. When I looked up towards him, I kind of looked up to him by him being a young black man. And I thought, we could just kind of see eye to eye a little bit, because he was my actual like teacher's assistant. He came in and he would teach the undergrads. And so I thought that, we could be on the same page or something, but, he just wasn't as helpful as I would have liked him. He wasn't helpful at all, just be honest. Um, so I had to deal with that. Like sometimes it was some of the professors, they wouldn't speak to me like in the hallways and stuff. I had teachers that told me that I wasn't as good of a musician as I thought I was. I had one teacher in particular said that I wasn't good, and that, I thought I was all of that, which I totally disagree with. Um, I came to class, I did what I was supposed to, but for some reason, that's what he told me. So I just had a lot of adjustments with people, with conflict, just people telling me what I couldn't do, finding like friends didn't like, they weren't friends. So I just had a lot of adjusting to do. And again, I was homesick. Like the culture in South Louisiana is very different from the culture in North Louisiana. Like down south, it's a lot of festivals, parties. Um, like the accents are different, the food is different, and things like that. I mean, now I'm cool with it now. I just had to like really adjust, like I said. But I mean, besides me adjusting to all the like weird situations, I had some really like cool people along the way. So, college is where I found my awakening. You know, I don't know how to say it. I became woke, as they say. So my freshman year, I just started getting involved and just being a part of the different black activities, like stuff as simple as I went to my first probate my freshman year. A friend of mine was like, "Hey, let's go to this probate." I'm just like, "What is a probate?" You know, I went to a predominantly white school, and they really don't talk about probates and pledging and Greek. At least I never heard it in my school. I mean, I was familiar with sororities and fraternities, like in general, but not all the details that goes into it. So that's another thing. Like going to a predominant black school, you're exposed to certain things because you have a lot of community oriented stuff that comes into the school. Like where I work at my chapter of AKA, they actually come to the school. They put on spelling bees, so these children are used to hearing AKA alphas, kappas, different things, and seeing the colors associated with the people. Um, you know, in public school, you get like different band scholarships. You're exposed to the band, so you can go and audition for band scholarships and choir scholarships. And in private school, I'm not knocking private school because there's definitely a plus size to private school, but it's that I hate to say like government funded programs, these government programs like band and choir that students can be a part of, whereas in private school it's not really so much of a focus band and choir because I feel like parents can afford outside activities. So students, they go take violin lessons, somewhere, or they go take piano lessons, which was what it looked like for me. I took piano lessons outside of school, which is definitely cool. I mean, music is music, and I enjoy it. I love my teachers, my piano teachers, and all of that. So, getting back on track, um, I went to a friend of mine. She invited me to come see a probate, and so my first probate that I ever went to see was Kappa Alpha Psi, and it blew my mind. I absolutely loved it. And then shortly after that, we went to go see the Sigma Rho Omega. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Sigma Rho, Sigma Gamma Rho. Okay, so we went to go see Sigma Gamma Rho probate, and that was cool. So right then and there, I knew I wanted to pledge, and that's what did it for me. And I already kind of knew that I wanted to be an AKA because I just like just they dress well, they're beautiful, they're gorgeous, they have their self together, like everything they do is together and organized, and I just knew AKA was for me. And so I was still kind of quiet and shy, and I was kind of scared. I was like scared to death actually to stroll and to step because that just wasn't my thing back then. So I knew that I don't know, I just was scared to do it back then, and then just all socializing, meeting all these new people, that was overwhelming for me back then. So um in 2013, like about a year after I graduated, I just started thinking more and more about becoming an AKA. And then there was a line, they was getting together a line, and it actually didn't happen in 2013. So, fast forward to 2016, I think it was 2016. Yeah, 2016 going into 20, no, it was 2017. It was 2017 because I pledged in 2017. That's when I crossed. All right, so 2017, the Shreveport chapters, they had um, a line. They was coming out with a line, so they had interest meeting and stuff. And so I had finally made up in my mind. I had made a decision. I was ready to become an AKA. So, I did all the necessary steps to do that. And December of 2017, the fall of 2017, I finally became an alpha woman, an AKA. So, getting back on track, because, I kind of gave my whole spiel about when I crossed. So, college is where I found my awakening. I don't know how to say it. I became woke, as they say. I actually, just started really getting into the different black organizations like gospel choir. That kept me on track. Um, like I was able to just find people that I could relate to and just have some fun with. Like gospel choir was legit. Um, like I said, I was a part of the Black Women's Leadership Association, and it was just nice to see all these like black women like come together for like a purpose. It was like Creole black women. It was just African American people who were like mixed with different, like maybe Indian and African American or just whatever, but it was like the core of being black brought us all together. So it was just so many different like cultures of women, but we were all like connected because we were black. I love going to the different Greek events on campus. Like I would just see like sometime they would have everybody, like all the Greeks, like stroll on the yard. um I would love to see the cues like step, and like they were so wild when they were strolling, like they were wild. I love the cues on UL's campus back then. um like it was just fun. So I just started just being able to just understand like my blackness and just embrace it. um so after I graduated with my bachelor's, and then I knew I wanted to go back to school and get my master's. So I eventually went back to school, and I chose Grambling State University. And Grambling State University, I don't know, it was like that other half that was missing. They did more. My professors at Grambling, they did more than just teach what was in the book. They gave you life skills that you definitely would need. Like, I mean, I just can't explain it. It was just like things that they told us you needed to know in order to survive as a career oriented person. Like you needed to know that, and you can't teach it in a book. It's not gonna come in a book. So that definitely helped me out. And then it just seemed like all the stuff that I'm doing now, like it just kind of they taught it to me. And if I didn't go to Grambling, I wouldn't have known what I know now, which is definitely just helping me at this point in my life. um Homecoming. Homecoming is like the thing, the big event of the year. Like people like that graduated like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 5 years ago, like last year, they planned for this event. It is like coming to see your family. Like it's that big of a deal. Like the first year that I went to Grambling's homecoming, which was my first HBCU homecoming in 2016, it was not room to move around. There was no room to move around. Once people graduate, they come back. They give money to the school. They support Grambling fully. Um, they come to all the events for homecoming. Like I think alumni, they start coming in. I could be wrong, but I believe that the earliest they come is Thursday. It could be earlier. So that Thursday, people start setting up RVs. They start checking into hotels. They always come to the concert. So it's like they have that old school for you. And then they'll bring in that new school artist. Like they brought City Girls in. Like that's like one of the hottest artists like right now. They bring in Joe, which is the old school artist. They brought in Maze. That drew in such a large crowd. I mean, they brought in Migos, like just all kind of people for these concerts. And then you have the parade the next day, that Saturday morning, and it's like all kind of bands, middle school, high school bands, community bands. Of course, Grambling do their thing, and then they have the homecoming game, and you know that's like the big to do. Like everybody come in, like homecoming is no joke, y'all. So hopefully, you know, y'all understand where I'm coming from with homecoming. Oh yeah, that night, before I forget, that night they have the Greek show, which you know all the black Greeks. That night they have the black. That night, right after the game, they have the Greek show, which is all the black Greeks. Divine Nine. They do the step show. And it's a big deal. So everybody, they put on their, like all the alumni, they put on their letters, like their line jackets, you know, whatever. Like, y'all, I cannot describe like how big homecoming is. Like, everybody comes back. If they were in a sorority or fraternity, you will know because they are sporting those letters. Like whatever it was, they're gonna express it. So hopefully you have a better understanding, a better idea about my experience and the HBCU experience in general, especially if you didn't go to an HBCU. So I mean, I am definitely program program. I am definitely programming, Graham fam, all of the above, Grambling night. But I, um, because of my experiences in life, I support all HBCUs. Like that is a passion of mine. I love HBCUs and where it provides people of minority, especially African Americans, with the opportunity to advance themselves. And you know, hopefully I don't get copyrighted for any of this. I just want to show off Grambling's band. Like I love their band and I love their choir. I mean, of course, I'm a musician, I'm an artist, so I love the music. So looking back, I can definitely say I enjoyed my time at UL. It's bittersweet because I had to learn a lot of lessons, which I mean, it's not bad because of what I went through then, I'm a better person and I'm more grateful and you know, I'm just better now. So, um Grambling was definitely a great experience. I learned so much, and so I'm taking my experiences from UL and my experiences from Grambling, and I'm just meshing the two together, you know. And so this is what makes Allie. This is part of my life experience. So y'all stay tuned. There's definitely more to come. Keep watching my videos. I'm doing a series called Vlogmas, 25 days of videos. This is video 4. And hopefully y'all enjoy it. So I will talk to you guys later. This is Allie. And bye.